All right, so today we're doing a deep dive into one of those gadgets you see everywhere online, the super scissors.
Yeah, the electric cutting tool.
Exactly. The promise is huge. It's supposed to cut through cardboard, fabric, plastic, leather, basically anything that gives you hand fatigue.
It sounds great on paper.
It really does. But our mission today, based on a recent review we've been digging into, is to get past that marketing promise.
Right, to analyze what the consumer experience is really like.
We want to see if this is a genuinely solid tool or if that impulse to buy is maybe a warning sign.
Okay, let's unpack this.
So the review starts right where most people would, the Superbrand Tools website.
And the first impression is a lot.
It is. I mean,
Yeah.
the product itself sounds fantastic, powerful, lightweight, easy to use.
Well, the right buzzwords.
Yeah.
But the website itself, the feeling you get is just pure pressure.
What's fascinating here is that reliance on urgency over, actual utility.
It's a masterclass in high-pressure tactics. You've got these huge discounts paired with ticking countdown timers.
And the limited stock or exclusive offer banners everywhere.
It's not really about selling you a tool for the long haul. It's about minimizing your research time and pushing for that immediate click.
So the goal is to get you to make an impulse purchase before you have time to look into the company's reputation.
Precisely. And that urgency, as this review found out pretty quickly, seems designed to distract from everything that happens after you place the order.
Which leads us right to the crucial part. The main caution here seems to be this pattern of negative feedback about the company's operations.
And it's totally separate from whether the tool can actually cut things well.
So what were the big complaints?
Well, there's a real trend in the feedback. For starters, really, really long shipping delays were common.
Okay.
And then when the package did finally show up, people were reporting missing parts.
Missing components. That points to either a major logistics issue or just a serious lack of quality control.
Yeah. And that's on top of the feedback that the product itself felt, well, cheaper than expected compared to the ads.
But the absolute red flag, the biggest one, has to be the customer support and the whole return system.
Here's where it gets really interesting for consumer transparency.
Okay.
The review points to this return policy loophole. It seems the return window, say 30 days, starts from the order date.
Wait. From the day you order it, not the day it's delivered.
Not the delivery date, no.
So if their own shipping takes 2 weeks, you've functionally lost half of your return window before you can even open the box.
That's it. You've got it. It feels less like a simple policy detail and more like a deliberate strategy.
To make returns as difficult as possible.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, that seems to be the model. You have the high-pressure sale up front, followed by operational barriers like the slow shipping and the policy loopholes that minimize the company's responsibility after the sale.
So what does this all mean for someone thinking about buying one?
It means the real risk isn't about the gadget itself, but the reputation and the integrity of the company you're buying it from.
This deep dive really highlights that the vendor's promises about shipping, about support, about returns are just as important as the product's promises.
You can have the best tool in the world, but if the company is unreachable or its policies feel designed against you, that convenience is fleeting,
Yeah, it completely disappears.
So a final thought for you to consider. When is that perceived deep discount really worth the risk of a guaranteed service hassle?
And how much is that initial convenience worth if there's absolutely no reliable customer service to back it up?
It's something to think about the next time one of those countdown clocks is ticking away on your screen.